This one change in your everyday life makes erectile dysfunction impossible. After helping over 100 men skyrocket their libido, I have found the scientific way to actually fix ED. Based on real studies from doctors and urologists. It's called your hormonal rung, and once you clear it, it breaks up the blockages throughout your body, and blood starts pumping where it should. You see, ED isn't a boner problem, it's a system breakdown. 50% of men have experienced some form of erectile dysfunction before, yet 40% say they wouldn't feel comfortable seeking help, and it's expected to affect 322 million men globally by 2025. Most guys think this is just about getting older or stress from work, but the truth is far more complex and far more fixable. Here's what most men don't realize. Trying to fix this with random supplements or generic advice is like trying to repair a Ferrari engine with a basic toolkit. You need precision, expertise, and a custom approach based on your exact biology. According to a study published in the Journal of Clinical Medicine, 90% of ED cases have a physical cause that's completely reversible. Here's what most men don't realize. Erectile dysfunction is often the first sign of cardiovascular disease or diabetes. Your body is raising a red flag that something deeper is broken. And to fix it, you need to understand the hormonal rung, or the three-part system that controls your erections. First, your hormones have to be dialed in. That means healthy levels of testosterone, dopamine, and thyroid hormones. Second, your nervous system has to be sending the right signals down to the nerves that control blood flow and arousal. Third, your blood vessels need to be clear and strong, so blood can flow in and stay where it's supposed to during an erection. Break any one of these systems and you get ED. Fix all three and ED becomes biologically impossible. But most men try to tackle this with generic protocols they found online, and that's exactly why they stay stuck for years. What I've learned from analyzing the 8 most comprehensive peer-reviewed studies on ED is this: it's not a weakness, and it's definitely not something you just live with. Erectile dysfunction is your body's built-in warning signal, a sign that your hormonal rung is out of alignment and needs recalibration. This signal isn't random. It's your body's way of saying, pay attention, something deeper is off. And the solution doesn't come from chasing surface-level solutions. You need to go straight to the source. The problem is, most men try to fix this with trial and error, taking random supplements, following generic diet plans, or hoping it just goes away. But without understanding your specific hormonal profile and biological markers, you're essentially shooting in the dark. To do that, let me show you how your body actually creates an erection. Because once you understand this system, everything else finally clicks. Think of your body as a 3-part system. Hormones say, we're in the mood, let's do this. Nerves carry the message, and blood vessels make it happen. When your hormones are off, the signal to start never even gets generated. No desire, no drive, no instinct to initiate. Research published in Translational Andrology and Urology shows that low testosterone is the most significant hormonal cause of ED. Testosterone is the spark plug that turns thoughts into desire, desire into arousal, and arousal into action. And this is exactly what I help men with. We completely transform their energy, drive, and testosterone to achieve peak performance in and outside of the bedroom. I personally analyze your blood work and create custom protocols based on your exact genetics and biology. The first thing we do is get comprehensive hormone testing and track your biometrics so we can build a strategic, data-driven approach that's tailored specifically to you. Click the link in the description to see if we'd be a good fit together. Low testosterone means no sexual thoughts, no morning wood, no energy or confidence. Even with perfect nerves and blood vessels, without testosterone, your brain never flips the on switch. But testosterone is just one piece of a much more complex puzzle. There are 3 other hormones that can completely sabotage your testosterone, even if your levels look perfect on paper. And most doctors never test for them. One of the biggest troublemakers is prolactin. When prolactin gets too high, it shuts down your testosterone and kills your sex drive. This often happens without any obvious symptoms. And unless you test for it, you'd never know. Another major factor is thyroid health. If your thyroid is underactive, which is a condition called hypothyroidism, it can raise prolactin and lower your desire and energy even more. The challenge is, most men have no idea which one of these factors is actually affecting them specifically, which is why generic approaches fail so often. The next is dopamine, your reward and motivation hormone. It gives you the urge to pursue sex and feel good doing it. Low dopamine means low motivation and lack of follow-through. And finally, cortisol, your stress hormone. When chronically elevated from poor sleep, overtraining, or burnout, it suppresses testosterone, kills libido, and keeps your body in fight or flight mode. Even if your hormones are perfectly balanced, there's still a critical communication highway that has to work optimally. I'm talking about your nervous system. It works like a messenger. When you're turned on, your brain sends a signal down your spine to the nerves in your pelvis that tell your penis it's go time. That message travels through a part of your nervous system called the parasympathetic system, which handles things like rest, digestion, and yes, erections. Here's what I often see with the high-performing men I work with. Their standards are so high, they push through chronic stress, heavy caffeine intake, minimal sleep, and intense training, all without realizing the toll it's taking. Over time, their body shifts into survival mode, known as the sympathetic state, redirecting blood flow to the heart, lungs, and brain, and away from where you need it most in the bedroom. But even if your brain and hormones are working fine, erections still depend on one critical piece: blood flow. For that to happen, the inner lining of your blood vessels, called the endothelium, has to release nitric oxide, which signals those vessels to relax and let blood rush in. But when that lining is damaged by things like high blood sugar, processed foods, alcohol, smoking, or chronic stress, the signal doesn't get through. Blood either can't get in or leaks out too fast. This breakdown is called endothelial dysfunction, and it's often the first sign of cardiovascular issues. Because the blood vessels in the penis are so small, they're usually the first to show damage. Studies show that ED affects 40% of men by the age of 40 and 70% by the age of 70. Risk goes up by 40% with depression, 50% with obesity, and it's also common after head injuries. But age isn't the real problem here. System health is. And when hormones, nerves, and blood vessels are in sync, performance tends to take care of itself. The men I work with understand this. They don't just want a quick fix. They want to optimize their entire biological system for peak performance in all areas of life. To truly fix the system, you need to understand how they all lock together. Here's how you reset the hormonal rung and make ED biologically impossible, based on the latest research. Step 1. Fix your hormones. Most doctors only test for total testosterone when assessing hormone health. To get a full picture, you need a deeper lab panel that includes total T, free T, SHBG, luteinizing hormone, estradiol, cortisol, and insulin. These numbers reveal how your hormones are actually functioning, not just how much testosterone you have on paper. But here's where most men get stuck. They get their labs done, see a bunch of numbers, and have no idea what they actually mean, or how to create an action plan based off of them. Research shows that low testosterone in younger men, especially those under 40, is often caused by lifestyle issues like poor sleep, high body fat, stress, and poor diet. These same factors are closely linked to erectile dysfunction and early signs of metabolic syndrome. Fortunately, natural ways to boost testosterone are well supported by science. Strength training, getting sunlight early in the day to support your circadian rhythm, and addressing key nutrient deficiencies can all make a real difference. Supplements like magnesium, vitamin D, boron, and Tongat Ali have all been shown in studies to support testosterone production and improve hormonal balance. The challenge is knowing exactly which interventions your body needs based on your specific labs and lifestyle factors. That's why the men in my program get such incredible results. We take the guesswork out completely. Dialing in your hormones lays the foundation, but it's only the beginning. Because even with perfect levels on paper, something deeper can still block your results. And this next layer is where most men get stuck without even realizing it. Step 2, rewiring your nervous system. Your brain and nerves play a huge role in getting and keeping an erection. New research shows that gentle electrical stimulation can actually help repair damaged nerves, blood flow, and regrow smooth muscle in the penis. It's non-invasive, low cost, and in some cases may even work better than cardio. Improving your sleep and calming your nervous system, especially through things like breath work, cold exposure, and vagus nerve stimulation, shifts your body out of the fight or flight mode and into rest and recovery, which is essential for sexual function. This isn't just about relaxing, it's about retraining your body to feel safe again. So it prioritizes performance, energy, and libido instead of just surviving stress. Once your nervous system is back online, there's still one final gatekeeper that determines whether everything actually works in the moment. And this is where most systems collapse. Step 3. Improving blood flow. One therapy, called low-intensity shockwave treatment, sends gentle pulses into the penis that help your body grow new blood vessels and improve blood flow. Over time, this makes medications like Cialis work even better. You can also support blood flow naturally by using nitric oxide boosters like L-citrulline, beetroot, and doing regular cardio exercise that help your blood vessels stay open and responsive. If you're overweight, just losing some fat and exercising regularly can cut your risk of ED by 70%. And if you smoke, quitting can improve your erection quality by 25% within a year. But here's what separates the men who get results from those who stay stuck. Having someone that can create a comprehensive, personalized protocol that addresses all three systems simultaneously. Most men try to tackle one piece at a time and wonder why they're not seeing dramatic improvements they want. Erections just aren't about performance. They're a reflection of total body health. When you fix the hormonal rung, erections stop being a question. They just work. The men I work with get a comprehensive system overhaul. We start with blood work, track their biometrics, and build custom protocols for their exact biology. I personally analyze every data point to create a strategic approach that fixes the root cause, not just the symptoms. Click the link in the description below to see if you qualify to work with me directly.